What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name's Ben Richardson. I am the best looking chemical engineer with a crooked nose on the face of the entire planet. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to eat what you want and lose weight. So if you're interested in learning more about how to live a more sustainable, healthy life through fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bells on so that you don't miss out on any of my latest content. That's what my whole channel is dedicated to, so go ahead and subscribe. So by the time you're finished watching this video, you'll have a very solid strategy to implement in order to eat foods that you love and enjoy without sabotaging all of your hard work and progress. So make sure you stick around for the whole video because that's the key to mastering your nutrition. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to kind of give you the hierarchy of importance in terms of what you want to focus on for your nutrition. So number one, the most important thing is your calories. Number two is your macronutrient split. Number three is the amount of protein that you eat in your diet. Number four is a meal timing strategy, and number five is food selection. So I'm not going to go super deep into things, but you really and truly can't go wrong with eating about anywhere between 1,800 to 2,000 calories for a solid calorie deficit. And you want to eat a macronutrient split of about 30% protein, 25% fat, and 45% carbs, just to kind of give you a ballpark idea of the two most important things, your calories and your macronutrient split. So if you set that up, you'll be good to go. This amount of calories in this macronutrient split, it's going to be enough so that you're going to lose fat pretty aggressively, not extreme, but it's a pretty aggressive calorie deficit and an appropriate macronutrient split, but it's still enough food that you're going to be feeling good. It's very manageable to stick to. So it's kind of the sweet spot between extreme and not making progress at all. It's a very aggressive cut and it's going to get you good, fast results. So stick to this. And really and truly, in terms of the calories and macros, you can eat whatever foods that you want and still make progress. I don't care if you eat chicken breast and Reese cups to get your fats, carbs, and proteins. If that's what floats your boat and that's what you enjoy, then do that. And the reason this is so important is because you need to learn how to eat foods that you like and still work towards your progress. If you can master that, you will master your nutrition. If you think about it, so many people think about nutrition in terms of eating more healthy foods and cutting out unhealthy foods from their lives. And really and truly at this point, I mean, it's 2021 now as of this video, and there's so much information out there on nutrition. Who even knows what is healthy and unhealthy at this point? So our approach to nutrition that we're trying to take here is you want to simplify things. You don't want to make things more complex and really dive deep into what foods you should eat and what foods you should avoid. Simplify things, and that is the key to mastering your nutrition, because there's always going to be something that gets in the way of you going about making some change in your diet. There's always going to be some event that comes up, going out with your friends, some wedding, the holidays coming up, a family gathering. There will always be something in the way that's going to keep you from sticking to your diet. So rather than following some insane dieting strategy or some insane nutrition protocol, wouldn't it just be easier if you knew how to eat foods that you love and enjoy, and you can still work toward your progress and you can avoid sabotaging all your results? That is the key to mastering your nutrition forever. That's the key to losing weight and keeping it off forever. So that kind of covers the calories and the macronutrient portion. So let's talk a little bit about meal timing. So you want to pick a meal timing strategy that works well for you and your lifestyle. You want to pick a meal timing strategy that works for you rather than against you. So for instance, I am a big fan of intermittent fasting. I love just eating lunch and dinner like I normally do, and between that, I'm not really eating. I don't really snack that much, and only having to worry about 2 meals throughout the day, it's very easy for me to stick to. It's simple and convenient for my lifestyle, and this works well for me. But that might not be the case with everyone else. Some people like to snack throughout the day. Some people like eating like 6 small meals throughout the whole day, and they feel better that way, and it works for them. It works for their schedule. Some people might only want to eat 1 meal and eat all of their calories in one sitting. That's fine too. If that's convenient for you and that works well for your lifestyle, that is how you want to choose a meal timing strategy. Don't try to force yourself to do intermittent fasting or eat 8 times throughout the whole day. Choose something that works well with your schedule and your routine, because that's the key to taking a long-term approach to this. So choose some sort of meal timing strategy that works well for you. It should work for you rather than against you, and that's the approach that you want to take to meal timing. Remember, it's not nearly as important as your calories and your macros. So don't go thinking that you need to force yourself to eating in a particular eating window or something like that. And then let's talk about the food selection. So these are the actual foods that you are going to eat. So how much you eat is much more important than when you eat. And then when you eat is probably a little more important than what you actually eat, if that makes any sense. So what you eat. You want the bulk of your diet to be nutrient-dense whole foods. That should constitute the bulk of your diet, but really and truly, you can eat whatever you want. I even think it's important to eat foods that are presumably unhealthy, because it's important to learn how to master discipline and being able to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room to just enjoy yourself while not going overboard. That is a very important skill for you to learn. So if a pack of Oreos is your weakness or something, learning how to just eat like 4 or 5 Oreos, that's very important, as opposed to, eating an entire row of them, or I don't know, maybe a family pack. I'm kind of notorious for being able to do that because I have the appetite of a freaking Viking. Anyway, that's beside the point. So kind of the ideal foods to eat are foods that, first off, you like. Second off, foods that are relatively low in calories, and they're foods that make you feel full. So if a food has all of these characteristics in them, you want to consume them regularly. Or if a whole meal in general has those kind of characteristics about them, eat those very often. And another thing is, you need to gauge this based on your dietary preferences, or maybe you have food allergies or something. So maybe you're a vegan or a vegetarian, or maybe you're lactose intolerant or something like that, just to give a few examples. So that's another thing with nutrition, is I can sit and talk about my opinions of what foods are best for, getting enough nutrients in your diet. But at the end of the day, everyone adheres to a very different nutrition protocol. They have different, maybe dietary restrictions or food preferences. So you need to learn how to be able to eat foods that you like, foods that you know that you can sustain and stick to in the long term. So that is kind of the key to approaching what you actually eat. And then another thing I want to mention real briefly is calorie cycling. So calorie cycling is literally exactly what it sounds like. You're eating more calories one day and less calories another day. And it's an important strategy to use, because when you eat more calories, your metabolism ramps up a little bit, and then when you cut, you're obviously going to lose body fat. So you don't want to go too extreme with how much you cycle your calories. Typically what I recommend is, if you follow the calories and the macro split that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you eat those 1,800 to 2,000 calories for 6 days out of the week, and then 1 day out of the week, you bump your calories up to like 2,600 calories. That is a very efficient way to do things, because first off, this is very lifestyle friendly. So let's say Sunday through Friday, you stick to a cutting regime, and then on Saturday, you have some event going on and you want to eat a little bit more calories. It's just lifestyle friendly to be able to do that. And also, this is going to make sure that your metabolism doesn't take too much of a hit when you go cut calories. Because when you enter a calorie deficit, your body does have to enter a stressed state. So incorporating some kind of higher calorie day every single week, that is going to sort of mitigate the effects of that metabolic damage or the stress that your body has to undergo to lose fat. And then another thing with calorie cycling is once you follow some kind of cutting regime for a few months, it's very important to take a few weeks and bump up your caloric intake. Now, it can be kind of tempting to skip this, especially when you're first starting off. So when I first started, I stuck to a cut for like 3 months or something like that. And I made so much progress, I just wanted to keep going. But all of those effects of cutting start to kick in around the 3-month mark. You'll have less energy, you'll get more food cravings, you'll be hungrier, you might even have trouble sleeping. All of these are things that you don't want to try to push through that, because the key is feeling good and still working towards your progress. So after about 3 months of disciplined cutting, you do want to go ahead and bump up your calories for about 2 to 4 weeks. So it's a very important part of the calorie cycling strategy. And when you start cutting again after that 2 to 4 weeks, that body fat, it's gonna melt off like that. Because what you're doing is over the course of a few weeks, when you eat more calories, you're going to revamp your metabolism, and when you start cutting coming out of that, your metabolism is still going to be functioning very well for a few weeks, and that body fat, it's just going to completely melt off. So that's another cool thing about the calorie cycling. So in a nutshell, these are my recommendations on how to eat what you want and lose weight. And that's the key to mastering your nutrition. So like I mentioned before, it's not about eating more healthy food and cutting out unhealthy food. It's all about learning how to eat whatever you want without sabotaging your results. Learning how to eat foods that you enjoy and still knowing how to work towards your goals. That is the absolute key. Now, I do want to mention that I do offer one-on-one coaching, so if you need a little more help getting some kind of nutrition and maybe even a fitness protocol set in stone, I do offer that. So if you are interested, go ahead and connect with me on Instagram, shoot me a direct message, and I'd definitely be happy to set up some kind of game plan for you. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And again, if you're new here and you did like the video and you're more interested in videos like these, I'm going to be posting very regularly. So don't forget to subscribe and turn the notification bells on so you don't miss out on any of my latest content. Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.